I like to just start with state your name, your age, and your nationality.
We're just straight into it. There's no foreplay to it. You
Yeah, exactly.
just right in there. I see how it is. What was the question? My name is Matt Usborne. Nationality is I'm British, but I'm also Canadian, so I'm a Britnadian, and I am 44. I'm really old. Like,
You're racing for Above and Beyond Cancer, powered by Bike World, and you guys had a pretty big squad out there. You guys comprised just about a quarter of the field at four guys. So was there a pretty solid pre-race plan for you guys?
so the initial plan that we had was we really wanted to put Hayden and Timmy into a good spot for them to take a win. Um, Timmy had just got his 5G shot from the government, so he's now fully Huawei'd. By the way, I'm joking. He got his COVID shot, but he was feeling terrible after it. And then I think Hayden had just got his second shot. So between the two of them, they were just not having the best day. Yeah, then it ended up just kind of being me out there.
Yeah, I mean, you spent a solid chunk of the day on the front, quite a while out there with Brad Bickley. How did it play out for you at the end of the race?
Um, well, it was pretty good. Like Bruce is, I'm pretty sure he's a Terminator. I'm like 98% sure he's like the original like T1000 Terminator. And so anytime he's kind of off the front, you just know he's going to idle along at ridiculous pace. And so I was eager to kind of catch up with him, but at the same time, I was very mindful of Brad Bickley, who was doing a really, really good job of sitting on and kind of not working and following kind of the key moves. You could tell he'd picked like one or two guys to follow, and he was really saving his matches. So then it becomes kind of a game of, well, how do I make him work as much as I possibly can while not marking myself out of the race? And so it became a bit of a chess match out there.
Yeah, you guys played it out over the last two laps, dicing it, and in the end, Brad did manage to get you at the line, but you did a really, really good job. Now, obviously, not winning, you definitely want to win next week. Do you have a more personal goal that you'd like to complete other than winning next week?
Well, I mean, let's get back to that. Let's give Brad his absolute full due, right? Like we all compete because we love competition, and right now with the lockdown and everything else, we're kind of very limited in how we can compete. So I don't want to take anything away from any of the other competitors. I think Bruce rode an amazing race, really put it all out there, and I think Brad rode an exceptional race, and he absolutely deserved that win. He rode with some great tactics, in terms of like he had his game plan, he stuck to it. He absolutely phenomenal ride, and I mean that's really that's the whole purpose of having these races, is to give guys the opportunity to compete. So rather than me kind of having a personal goal, my goals are always kind of more team oriented. And then in terms of the BC Cup, I think if we can see some more kind of rising talent come out of that, like Brad Bickley's seeming to do, and then you see kind of the established old guard, like Bruce Bird is, he races Premier League on Zwift. He's a heavy hitter. He's a world champion in his age group, and he's out there lending his name and his legitimacy to these series. So really, I mean, just lining up on the start line is already a win for me.
It's a really wholesome goal you've got there, Matt. Good luck to you and ABC as well next weekend. We'll hope to see you performing again.
I've got questions for you, Tom. Oh yeah, tables have turned. So you've been racing the series for Red Truck.
Yes.
So why don't you state your name, age, nationality, and team? Come on.
All right. The name's Tom Terblanche. I am 17 years old now. racing for Red Truck Racing out of Canada, originally based from South Africa.
Nice. And so you've had some very strong showings as well, racing up in the P1 races, pushing the big watts. So how have you found it so far? How have you found
It's
racing
been
in big
a
watts?
really had a pretty steep learning curve. Personally, I'm a lighter rider, so the kind of diesel watts required from a virtual racing isn't really my strong suit. But I've managed to really get my flow for Zwift, and hopping on RGT for the first time in this series has been a bit of a learning curve. I've had to adapt to the turning dynamics and the sort of brake checking within the group. But overall, I've found it really fun to race on a bit more of a realistic platform against people who I'd be racing against in real life as well.
Yeah, because this year you're taking a big step up. You're moving up to the elite ranks, somewhat early. Like you'd still qualify to be a junior, but I think the team that you have on has kind of really seen something in you and wants you in their elite squad. So do you think that this online racing is giving you kind of any kind of advantage to preparing you for the season?
Um, I find it difficult to compare outdoor versus indoor results. It's very different, and there's outdoor you have bike handling skills, and tactic plays a little bit more outdoors. So I've kind of just taken the perspective of using RGT and the virtual racing series is to more compare my numbers to see where I'm at and kind of give myself a goal in terms of performance numbers. But I'm also being very mindful to keep in mind that there are other factors that come into play in real life. So I'm not beating myself up if I am getting dropped, because there's different factors of virtual racing, but I'm also using it very much to gauge my level against the rest.
Now, given that this weekend is the last weekend, no, sorry, May 1st is the last race on the series, so you got a week break now, and then the last race is going to be significantly longer, something in the neighborhood of about 70 kilometers. Any change in tactics for that for you?
I actually think a little bit longer of a race suits me better. I tend to be a bit more of a FTP rider, so short punchy circuits like the first race we had on the Paterberg is generally not something I perform at as well, but something like the last stage, which is going to be longer with more gradual, long 20 minute climbs, I feel like I would do a little bit better. So I'd like to stay up there and kind of pull a bit of a Brad Bickley and sort of just target a few riders and see if I can go with them if they do decide to break.
Yeah, I think you're absolutely capable of a top result, especially in this. I think the longer that it goes and it burns out those e-racers, right, who are kind of specialists at that hour or less. I think I agree with you 100%. I think the last one will be a good showing for the roadies.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, haha! I turned the tables on you.
Brutal.
Brutal. Yeah, now you're on the other side of it.
It feels so wrong.